Hi everybody, I'm alive! Welcome to episode 35 of Pins and Needles podcast. My name is Zoe. You can find me on Instagram and on Ravelry as Pins and Needles UK. Feel free to message me directly on either of those two platforms, or you can email me at hipinsandneedlesuk. I always get that bit wrong. hipinsandneedles@gmail.com. Probably. I'll leave a link down below. Speaking of which, I will leave links to everything I mention down below in the drop down box, and do feel free to leave a comment if you would like. Right at the top of the episode, I would like to say I have no idea where episode 34 has gone. Poof, it vanished. My last video that I put up was my question and answer episode, so thank you very much to everybody who either sent in a question or left a nice comment about that episode. So 34 was the one before that, and I haven't taken it down. I don't know what happened to it, and unfortunately I don't keep them because I record on my phone. It's only got a small memory. So once they've successfully posted to YouTube, I delete the episode recordings off my phone. So unfortunately it has gone forever. So I'm sorry about that. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. But there we go. First up, I wanted to say Happy New Year. It's been quite a while since I did a normal episode. Yeah, December just vanished. It was chock-a-block and my knitting time is a bit limited. So I'm back for 2018. This is going to be a slightly different episode. I've got some finished objects and I've got some works in progress and a couple of Christmas acquisitions. But I've also got some little clips of footage from the last month or so that I'll put right at the very end. So I was toying with the idea of doing Vlogmas and it just didn't happen, but I had a couple of little clips of things I thought you might be interested in, so I'll put those at the end of the episode. I also wanted to remind everybody that our Knitty Retreat Anniken Alice Knit Along is coming to an end very soon. It's on the last day is the 21st of January, so you've got 10 days. I don't actually know what the date is. About 10 days to get your things finished and post a photograph of them in the Knitty Retreat group on Ravelry. We do have some lovely prizes which I was going to wave at you again. First up is this beautiful project bag that lovely Lesley sent us. Hi Lesley. Lesley is the maker behind the Duckpool Lane Etsy shop, and she's given us this beautiful bag with a leaf charm on the zip pull and a lovely spotty lining, so that's up for grabs. And also, I have to be careful with this one. Oh, I just found a chocolate sprout. I buy these and put them in the kids' Christmas stockings. Anyway, sidetrack. We've got a full skein of sock yarn and a lovely mini from Maker Me on Etsy. Thank you so much, Tracy. She custom dyed this in our retreat logo colourway, so there's that. And there's also this lovely poppered project bag in afternoon tea fabric with a matching needle cozy. So she is Maker Me UK on Etsy, and again I'll leave links to both of these lovely ladies' Etsy shops in the information bar down below. So yes, if you are knitting for the Anniken Alice Retreat Knit Along, knit faster and get them all posted up in the group. Right, let's go to finished objects. Now I do have two to show you, but only one of them with me. So first of all, I have a pair of socks for me. Now I think I showed you these the last time. Let me get this right. This is Opal yarn and it's from the Funny Mitt Silbereffekt in the colourway 9334. So it's a nice green and purple. It's not really self-striping, kind of self-striping. with a lot of sparkle in. These are actually quite high proportion of sparkles. I seem to have lost the label, so I'm not exactly sure of the proportions. I imagine it's a 75% wool, 20%, 75, 20% nylon, 5% sparkle. And this is just my own standard vanilla sock. So it's 2x2 rib, 72 stitches on a 2.25mm needle. Heel flap and gusset. And that's about all there is to say about that, I'm afraid. The yarn was a present from a friend of mine off my monthly thread group on Ravelry. And I was having a bit of a bad day, and so she sent me some cheery up yarn. And I think this came from Wool Warehouse, which is a British online and bricks and mortar store based in the Midlands. And another friend off the monthly thread was the yarn mule to enable me to get the yarn. So thank you to both of you for helping out, and I'm glad I can wear these now. I finished these, when did I finish these? A good week or so ago, I think. If not more, maybe I finished them before Christmas. I can't remember, but anyway, I've been keeping them on the sock blockers so I can keep them nice to show you. And it's super cold in Wales at the moment, so these will be nice to get on my feet. So that's my first finished object. The second finished object was a Christmas present for my mum, and obviously it's all wrapped and given to her now, but I will include a photograph here with a little bit of voiceover telling you all about that. This is the Duchess of Devonshire shawl pattern by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. I knitted it in a DK weight. It's a 50/50 merino silk base from Laxton's, or possibly Chester wool, that the lovely Jenny of Owl About Yarn dyed this beautiful silvery grey. I knitted it on 4.5mm needles, but other than that I followed the pattern exactly as written, and it came out beautiful. This is my spare bed. It's a British double size, so you can see there that the wingspan is pretty enormous. But yeah, so I wrapped it up and gave it to Mum, and she said she was absolutely thrilled with it. So there you go, my Duchess of Devonshire. There's also one more finished object to come, but it's not my finished object, it's my eldest son's finished object. And this is a project he made, and again, he finished it, goodness me, maybe a month or even 6 weeks ago now. But I wanted him to come on the podcast so you could meet him and he could tell you all about that himself. So I kind of had to wait until the Christmas holidays, until we were both home at the same time with some peace and quiet to get some recording done. So again, I will put Conrad's finished object in now.
So in school, I made this pencil case here with a working zip and everything as a project that our teachers got our whole class to do, and I made it using some denim on the back and some fibre on the front, which I used sublimation printing.
What's sublimation printing?
I'll say that in a second. Which I used sublimation printing to put the picture on, and sublimation printing is when you find a picture from the internet and you put it onto the computer, upload that file from the computer onto a special press, and you put your piece of fabric on the press, put it down and hold it there for a while. It sort of presses it down as well as shoot ink through it, and then it comes off as a really nice fabric that's not like hard or stuff to move around, so it feels like actual fibre, like it's actually in there. And I made this for my mum, who's currently recording, because there's a sheep there and some countryside, and I think I did a rather good job.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
What was tricky about it?
The zip. The zip, definitely, because you have to fold the zip. You have to turn the whole thing inside out, and then put the zip on each side of that, and then turn it back the right way round with the pins in it, and then go over it with hand stitching, and then go over it with the sort of sewing machine to make it all nice. Take out the pins and the hand stitching, and that took about 3 lessons to do.
3
lessons. And since then, it's just been on my mum's desk for about 3 months, not doing anything.
I've been waiting to record you talking about it before I started using it, haven't I?
Yeah, and it takes you about 3 months to make a video.
I'm not doing very well at the moment, am I?
No.
Open it up and show them the inside. Crafters love to see the inside and the backs of things.
Alright, the inside's kind of... it's not too bad. So, there it is. You can see some of the stitching in the middle, as well as...
Oh, bit of zigzag there.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Some zigzag action.
Yeah.
Rather capacious.
Oh, good word.
Good word.
Did you... I know you chose the sheep design and things yourself, but did you choose to make a pencil case? Could you have made anything?
I could have made anything. I could have made it any size, any design. I could have done foil printing, which is when you put on special glue. Special glue, like if I want to do Conrad, I write CONRAD on there in the special glue very quickly. Put some special foil over it, some really expensive foil, and then after 5-6 seconds, I peel it off, and it just leaves the foil.
Oh, cool.
In the names, which can either turn out looking very professional, or very terrible. Because sometimes, like, you put on too much glue and it sticks out about a couple millimeters.
Oh, I see.
Or if you put a very thin layer on, it looks like it's flush with the whole thing.
Okay.
I also had some options for other designs as well, because we had to draw 4 designs. And this was the winning one, which I did in the iPad. But there was also one with a teapot, one with some biscuits, and one with a Mini Cooper.
That's random.
That
one wouldn't have been for me.
It all had to be, the whole thing was around Best of British.
Oh, okay.
So you had to have very British things, and I thought Countryside and Sheep was a good one.
Yeah.
Especially for Wales.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So how did you get assessed on all of this, did you?
Yeah, the teacher kind of walks around and looks at what we're doing and how well we're doing it. We also have some stupid portfolio on our iPads that we do as we go along, which is completely useless, and I don't do half of it, and I get shouted at for not doing half of it, but it's completely stupid, because you're not actually doing anything to do with this. It's like, okay, so you found your design, now go on the internet and find 10 other designs that you're not going to use because you've already found one.
That's a bit frustrating.
Yeah, as well as there was one bit where you had to write a full A4 on what you thought of it, your overall thoughts on what you think went well and stuff.
That's quite handy, I suppose, if you were to do it again.
Yeah. But I think this is my best project so far, out of what I've done. In Year 7, I did...
Your spinning
apron.
Car with the spinning back wheel was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Although that wasn't textiles, was it? That was woodworking.
That was woodwork, yeah, in Year 8.
Yeah.
I got to solder stuff, and I burnt my finger lots.
Yeah. It's all a learning curve.
Someone got some molten metal stuff on their finger.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for making it for me. I can fill it up now and start using it because the podcasting world has seen your awesomeness. Yeah. And I think you might be better at putting in zips than I am, so you can help the next time I make something. All right, say goodbye to the lovely viewers.
Ta-ra, lovely viewers.
I hope you enjoyed that little snippet. I think I've managed to get all 3 of my children onto the podcast at various times now. So yeah, that was Conrad, my eldest boy. He's 13, if any of you were wondering. He's just very tall. He gets it from me. On to works in progress, and I only have one work in progress to show you, I'm afraid. For any of you that are new viewers, my husband and I have our own business. We own and run our own gym. So as you can imagine, January is pretty chocker. It's always a busy time of year with people making resolutions. We did manage some nice time off over Christmas, but Christmas itself was busy. We had sort of 3 separate Christmases with various relatives coming to us at different points. So that's why my vanilla socks were such perfect projects to be knitting on. And my next favourite knitting for when I'm busy and tired and just want soothing, beautiful things to work on is living in my bag. This is my Eldenwood craft bag, the very lovely Emma, who also has a podcast which you should absolutely go and watch. She's a fantastic bag maker. I'll leave her details down below. And yeah, she's another British podcaster, and she has such a lovely, soothing podcast, which I enjoyed catching up on the other day, so go and watch her. Anyway, so in my Eldenwood craft bag, I have been knitting my, I'm going to say I'm a bit tangled, blanket squares. Now, I just broke into the set of minis that I bought from Becky of Riverknits Yarns. Do I have the label? Yes, I do. So Becky is Riverknits Yarns, and this is her BFL 4-ply minis. And I bought like a bouquet of minis from her stand at Yarningham in the summer. So hello, Becky. And these are little mitered squares. They're 31 stitches each, and I do a centered double decrease that gives me this line effect. And I knit a square, and then I just border it in this undyed sparkle owl by Owl About Yarn. And the colourways didn't come with individual names. So if any of you have seen Becky's stand at shows around the UK, you'll know that she has a grid wall. Oh, one just escaped and it rolled all the way over there. Oh, never mind. She has a grid wall full of all of her minis, and they go from the lightest colours at the top down to the bottom. So they're the same colours but darker tones all the way along. And you could get 6. You could buy a set of 6. So it took me ages to choose which ones to buy. So these are the yarns, plus the one that rolled away, which was that colour. So these are my sets. So I hand wound these. I had an incredibly busy day and I couldn't even face knitting. So I set up my Swift on the coffee table and I hand wound these, and it was an absolute pleasure. So this is my first Riverknits mitered square, and I can get 6. If I have a set of 20 gram minis, I can usually get half a dozen squares like this out of them. And I've no idea how big my blanket's going to be. I think this might be my 4th set of squares that I'm working on right now, but I haven't started fixing it together. I want to get all the squares made, and then I can lay them out and rearrange them, and then I'll seam them all together. So I'm really, really, really enjoying working on this. Absolutely gorgeous. Really enjoying the yarn and the colours. I did finish another one. There was one day at work a few months ago where I was super late leaving for work, and I didn't manage to take anything I needed. I had my car keys and my phone, and that was about it. And I messaged Jenny to say that I'd come in such a palaver. And bless her cotton socks, she came in to see me and she bought me a packed lunch. And she dived into her scrap jar and bought me some scraps and some needles. So I knitted a square. This is the second of the squares from my emergency yarn kit. She did have little labels telling me, but this is all a different blend of different dyers. So there's another square that I've done as well. So that's really my only work in progress at the moment, I'm afraid. I've been busy, I've been tired, I'm fighting off a bit of a sore throat. So garter stitch squares is about my level at the moment. I always do, the first day that the children all go back to school and Dave goes to work and I have the whole house to myself, I always pull out all of my stash, tip it out on the bed, and I make sure that my Ravelry database is all correct, and I plan out my year of crafting. So I haven't had a chance to do that yet. The children were off school until the 8th of January. Normally they break up around the 18th of December, but they broke up on the 23rd, 22nd, I think. So they broke up on the Friday. Christmas was the Tuesday. So we're at the end of their first week back. So it's been busy and I've had no peace and quiet. So this episode was going to be a little roundup of 2017 whips, finished objects, things like that, acquisitions. And then my next episode is going to be my planning episode. So that's why this is going to be a bit scrappy. So on to acquisitions. Oh, and I had some lovely things. Okay, first up, excuse the crinkling. I've mentioned before that I have a home thread on Ravelry, and it's full of the most wonderful people. And as soon as Thanksgiving is over, a new thread appears, and it's run by the fairy godmother. Nobody knows who she is. And it's a thread for raising money for Médecins Sans Frontières, which is an international emergency relief doctors charity, medical charity. And also for sending other people in that group Christmas wishes, and people send each other patterns and little presents in the post and Christmas cards and all sorts of wonderful things. So 2 secret elves, and it's all done secretly. You have to message the fairy godmother, and then she will message the recipient for their details. So I was absolutely gobsmacked to receive 2 amazing packages through the post. There was all sorts of things in these packages, but I'll just show you the yarny bits. And first of all, I received, and I'm very excited about this skein from Nice and Knit, and it's DK Luxe. And if I read the label, it's a 65-20-15 blend of merino, silk and yak. I have never knitted with yak, and it feels gorgeous. So I get 210 metres, which is 230 yards per skein, 6 stitches per inch. Hand dyed in the United States, and the colourway is Hazy Skies, and the website is niceandknit.com. Now, I have to be careful with grey. I can't wear pastel colours, it just makes me look like death on a stick. But this, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's pretty accurate for the colourway, and can you see it's got a, I wonder if it's like an oatmeal base that she's dyed over the top. I think yak is a brown fibre, correct me if I'm wrong, but it gives it a warmth in an undertone. That means if I were to wear it around my face, I think I'd look okay. And it is unbelievably, gorgeously soft. So that's Nice and Knit, DK Luxe. And this parcel came with some super tasty treats in, American treats. I ate the peeps myself, marshmallow peeps, they were amazing. And there was some other little bits and pieces which I hid away and then put in my children's Christmas stocking. So thank you very much. The next parcel, again, completely discombobulated by the generosity of this person. This came all the way from Australia. Australia! Couldn't believe it. And somewhere in here, it's a set of 4 minis. And all of these, in the parcel, as well as a Christmas card, was this gold star confetti. And I am still finding it. I'm still finding it. Every time I wipe my kitchen surface or sweep the floor, gold stars. Oh my God. It's the gift that never stops giving. Okay, so we have here, oh, where's the camera? There we go. 4 beautiful mini skeins. And these are all from 24 Mile Hollow Yarn Co. on Etsy. And again, I'll leave the links. And this pink one is Back to the Fuchsia. Get it? Get it? This purpley yellow one is We Love You, Miss Hannigan. This one is Choc Mint Julep, and I love that one. That's gorgeous. And this last one, the sort of grey beige, is Some Girls Are Ghostbusters. And these are all lovely 100% Australian merino yarns. So these are absolutely gorgeous. And again, these are going to become blanket squares. I do love this one. It's looking slightly grey on there. It's actually got pinkish undertones. Can you see here? These are pink undertones. That's really gorgeous. And this one with just the odd speckle there. This one looks like flowers. And back to the fuchsia. Isn't that genius? So this is a 4-ply, but it's definitely squishier. Maybe it's the way it's spun up, but it's really plump. It's a really plump, squishy yarn. 4-ply yarn, 20 grams, approximately 60 meters. Needle size 3.25 millimeter, which is a US 3. But yeah, 24 Mile Hollow Yarn Company. There's their label. And again, this came with a few more goodies. Some sachets of Twinings tea, which is very lovely. So again, thank you very much. You know who you are. I'm looking forward to these. When I do my big sort out that I just mentioned, I'll definitely be making myself up some grab bags of minis for my blanket throughout the year. Oh yes, another acquisition from another member of the thread, and this is a whole envelope full of yarny goodness. More scraps. It's going to be difficult to show you this. Excuse me. Right. My two favourites. Well, number one is this little one, and this is hand spun yarn. It's called Plum Pumpkin, and it is bamboo, BFL, camel, merino, and silk. And it feels beautiful. And can you see the colours? Absolutely gorgeous. These glints of gold. And so in some places it's barber poles, and in some places it's blended. And it's a 2-ply. And it's just the most gorgeous colour. I love the variation in that. It's my absolute favourite. And hand spun, what a treasure. And then my second favourite is Bellica Yarn's Donegal Sock. I've never knitted with tweedy yarn ever, so I'm excited to try this one as well. And it's just beautiful colours. And you can see the different coloured neps. There's blues and yellows and pinks, so that one's going to be super fun to knit up. Put them back in the envelope. I'm just going to try and work out how to show you these. So there's some more, and we've got some hand dyed by Kate. We've got some unique sheep. We've got, what's that one? Just One Skein. Oh, that's another Bellica Yarns. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Really vibrant. Oh, and this one I was excited about. This is John Arbon Knit by Numbers in number 18. Look at that, red, really, really red. And then one last one, again, more John Arbon, Knit by Numbers in colour 52. And I love that. That's a sort of a butter yellow. So again, a whole little envelope. Thank you very much, my lovely friend. And so that will be going in the pile for Blanket 2018. Next up, I had some presents from my lovely mum. Hi, Mum. And I'm rather excited about this. I've seen, let me just show you, this is a Sirdar Colourwheel. Look, oh my God. So gorgeous, so gorgeous. They do several different colours of this yarn. This is shade 201, and it's 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and it's 150 grams, which gives you approximately 520 metres. Now it comes with a free scarf pattern, which I assume is on the inside of the ball band, although I haven't looked. And it comes out like that, which I don't think makes the most of the yarn. This, I think I'm going to design a shawl in this. I think the way it goes with the gradient, it would suit a sort of a long, slimmer sail shape, a bit like a hitchhiker kind of shape that you do sideways. And I absolutely love DK weight yarn. It's a bit of dog hair from lovely Jim. So yes, I'm very excited to try this out. And it's 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and I do very much enjoy knitting with blends. I know a lot of podcasters only knit with super fancy yarn, but this feels gorgeous. This is quality acrylic yarn. Sirdar is an excellent company. I don't know how much you have it outside of the UK. It's a very popular brand in the UK. They have a lovely range of acrylic baby yarns that are very popular. If you've heard of Snuggly, Sirdar Snuggly. And they also have another brand that they own called Sublime. So if you've heard of Sublime, that's also owned by Sirdar. Anyway, so yeah, this feels gorgeous. It's going to wash and wear beautifully. And as I said, they've got lots of different colourways. So if I could come up with a nice design to use this, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much to Mum for that. And she also bought me, I'm about to lose the pod basket. Hang on 1 second. There we go. This. Now this is Norah Gaughan's knitting cable sourcebook. Knitted cable sourcebook. And it's beautiful. It says a breakthrough guide to knitting with cables and designing your own. I will never design my own cables. When we had Christmas by ourselves, just Dave, me and the kids, and Mum and Dad came down about the 28th of December, and we had like another little Christmas, by which point I was pretty exhausted and a bit ill. So I have had a good look through this, but I haven't actually read it yet. The way it's organised, oh, and the photographs are by Jared Flood, it looks beautiful. It's a really quality publication, really nice. And what's the easiest one to show you on? I'm going to cover up the bottom bits so that you don't see the actual instructions. But you can see how lovely the photographs are. And if you look at the cable, this is the base cable, and the way they organise it is she takes a base cable and then shows you how she can develop it. And then underneath these photographs, there's a bit of blurb and some charts and things like that. So you can track how she works with the cables to develop them and move them on further. And as well as loads of beautiful cables, really clearly photographed. There are also several patterns. I should have put sticky notes in these really, shouldn't I, to show you. I mean, look at that one. That's a lovely one. Really, really nice. So it's part stitch dictionary, it's part pattern book, and it's partly teaching you how to design your own. So I am really looking forward to getting my teeth into this, doing some swatching and plugging a few things into some designs for next year. So thank you very much, Mum. And last but by no means least was my Christmas present from Jenny. First of all, she got me some stickers because I was having a whinge one day and saying that grown-ups don't get enough stickers. So she bought me these. Hey, hey. And you see what they say? They say things like, got dressed today, did the laundry, adulted today, and worked like a boss. And then on the back, there's some little multicoloured bras that also calm your tits. So that was good. And then a teeny tiny packet of custom stitch markers. And oh, these made me laugh. First up, I've got a pair of dumbbells. Can you see? Little silver dumbbells. And she's put a lobster claw and a ring on the top, so I can use them anywhere I like. So I've got silver dumbbells. World's tiniest guns workout. And then these ones, again with a ring and a lobster claw. And that's got rhubarb in it. This one, I nearly choked on my own tea when I unwrapped it. Oh my goodness. And that one's got courgettes in it. Now you may wonder why I have courgette and rhubarb stitch markers, but Dave is a keen gardener and he particularly loves growing fruit and veg. and he somewhat overplanted rhubarb and courgette, and it was just driving me spare, just trying to get through all this stuff. I've got about 4 litres of stewed rhubarb still in my freezer, and the courgettes were insane. They were the size of my thigh, half of them, and we put them in everything. Every stew, every fry up. I grated it and made cake. It was just desperate. So that's the never-ending courgette and rhubarb. So those were lovely. Thank you very much, Jenny. I actually haven't managed to get her a Christmas present yet. I shall have to think of something very soon indeed. So there we are. That's the last of my acquisitions. That's the end of the normal podcasty bit. I wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who supported me over 2017. I hit some big milestones. I hit 2,000 subscribers on here. I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I published 2 patterns and people actually bought them. Could have knocked me over with a feather. And I've had so many lovely comments, messages, and I've really felt the love from the yarny world. So thank you very much. I look forward to spending more time with you in 2018. So what I've got next is just some little snippets of things from the last couple of weeks. So I hope you enjoy them. Thank you very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, click subscribe, it's the red button up top. And I will see you again in a couple of weeks for the grand master plan for 2018. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye. Morning everybody, it's Friday the 15th now and it is 7:30 in the morning. I'm the only one up at the moment. I am wearing my super fabulous purple sheepy fleece dressing gown that I sewed myself a few years ago. It's a butterick pattern, I think. I can't remember the number. But it's absolutely enormous. It goes from right up here all the way down to my ankles. And for somebody that's 6'1", that's pretty good. So Dave has already left for work and I've got Conrad on the school bus. He's going to be having a full day at school and then he's going to catch the train into the gym because he works a late Friday afternoon shift for his pocket money. Max is still in bed and Jocelyn's still in bed as well. She's got this throwing up bug thing and she's having a second day at home and hopefully that will mean she can kick it. But it is now time for Jim's breakfast and I thought you might enjoy seeing just how good Jim the dog is when it comes to food. So he's got his dinner soaking on the counter. We always weigh it out so we don't end up with a chubby Labrador. And as soon as he hears his food being dropped into his bowl, he dashes in and he sits down good as gold on this mat and he waits. And I could go and have a shower and I could come back and he'd still be there waiting. You waiting for your breakfast, Jim? Yeah. Okay. Right. So it's a bit difficult to do one-handed with the camera. Wait. Pour. Now he has to hear exactly the right words or he won't go and get it. Wheelbarrow. Banana. Sellotape. Good boy. How's that for training? And that is why Jim the dog is such a good boy. This is the New Year's Day Barry Island swim. It's about 8 degrees, I suppose. And all of these nutters are about to dive in. And there's Dave and Max, they're going to do it. And we've got Jim the dog. Yep. There's Conrad. We'll be spectating.
Yeah, I'm not swimming.
There's Max, raring to go. Oh, it's my mate Sarah dancing up and down. And look at all the crazy people. There are literally thousands of us. And my welly boots have got holes in them.
And I'm wearing trainers.
And Conrad's wearing trainers. So we're going to get... Oh, and Jeff's there. Oh my God, look at them. Max is in the lead. This is insane. Oh, you won't be able to see because of the angle of the sun. Oh my God! Max, how was it? Yay! Max, towel!
No.
No?
Really?
Was it fun?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Please do click subscribe and give me a good thumbs up, and I will see you again in another couple of weeks. Bye!